Hello everyone, today I'll be flying out the JH-7A as you can see here. And in this first game, I'll have 3 games actually, but in this first one I will get 3 kills. And actually, I think I get 3 kills in all 3 of these games. And I get an assist in this one as well. Yeah, I get an assist. So the first guy you'll see up here is the F-111. I will shoot him with my guns. I'll get a crit on him. And unfortunately I won't get the kill, but you know, his left flap, but that's something. And I'll get the assist in a minute here, I believe. And I'm carrying the 4PL5Cs, which are, if you didn't know, they're like PL5Bs, but all aspect. And semi-recently, they have had the secret angle changed. As you can see, it's a bit wider in the center there. I lock onto the EJ and I get him in head on. And I'll fire one at this F5, but I believe he should flare it. I turn down to go after someone else, and I look back up in a second, and yeah, I saw he flared it. Someone else did end up getting him, a MiG-23ML got him with an R-24R. And overall, this is a pretty decent plane. It turns fairly well. It's not the fastest. It goes a little over Mach on the deck. Around Mach 1.05 or something like that. I fired that F5C, and he flares it. And I do also get him with my guns, and I crit him. And then I'm going to head after this F4S, who's going after the base. Yeah, and I get an assist on the F5C as well. So I'm going after this guy. And I'm all out of missiles now. You can only carry 4. This can also get PL8s, which for this video I didn't have quite yet. But I would probably go for those over the PL5Cs. The PL5Cs are good, but the PL8s are just longer range and seem to fall a little bit harder from my experience when using them with Israel. Since they're the same thing as the Python 3. So I fire at this F4S and I end up getting it with my guns. I fired a few different bursts and finally found the right lead. Unfortunately, it doesn't get a lead indicator when you use the radar lock, which I wasn't sure about, which is why I was trying to lock him up there. And you see this A10 here, as well as the A6E. Hopefully we get, I mean, I have the premium A6, but hopefully we get him. And I end up taking that A10. I probably shouldn't have. He's already on fire and everything, but I kind of wasn't paying attention. I was just beelining for him. And then after this, I'm going to head back to my airfield to, since I'm getting a little low on fuel. But first, I'm going to take a pass at this F5. I am going to miss it, unfortunately, but someone else will get him, and then it'll just be down to one enemy 104. However, so I'm going to go land. I'm going to end up landing at the airfield, rearming, getting more fuel, because I'm down to about 11 minutes. Or 12 minutes here, but I'll be around 10, 11 when I land. And I come a little close to the ground there. I thought I was going to crash, but I ended up not. And I was thinking this plane reminded me of something, and the underbelly kind of reminds me of a T2 and F1. Now that I think about it, when I was playing this, I could not remember what it kind of reminded me of, but the underbelly and the overall shape relatively reminds me of the T2 and the F1. But now on to this next battle here, which again I also get 3 kills. And I'm going to skip forward here real quick. Alright, and now that we're a bit ahead, didn't want to have to sit all the way through the battle right there. As you can see, these PL5Cs really like the sun. Even if you're pointed like in the relative direction of the sun, they always seem to jump to the sun. A lot of the newer missiles don't have that problem quite as much, but they seem to. Especially with that wider seeker angle, so we'll just have to see, how that goes. And just jumping around here, I'm gonna go after this F4S. Again, like I'm pointed in the direction of the sun, It's still not that close. Usually when most missiles wouldn't jump to the sun from that far. That's possible they've changed some other things, not just the missile. Maybe they've changed the sun's intensity as well. I'm going to fire this MiG-23, and I believe it hits. It does. Fire a few other missiles here, and that F4S dies. I'm also going to fire at him, and this will connect in just a second. And there we go. We got the MiG-23ML. And turn around. And I am going to end up dying, but I'll get another kill. Well, I think I should be getting one more kill. I believe it's on a Vigan. You see the F-14, F-4JUK, and then the... Was it F-4S also? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of guys over here. And I'm going to end up firing this missile off. And it does initially lock onto flares, but then after launch, it does find that Vigan, and luckily gets him. So I still have that one PL-5C left, and then a couple hundred rounds of cannon ammo. So I'll fire at this FG1. Unfortunately, I won't. A little too close to hit, and then he flares as well. So I mean, probably would have hit if he hadn't flared, but guess we'll never know. And then I do go after this FG1 with my guns, and it's a little too low because the cannons, they're on the belly. And yeah, unfortunately I missed that. Now I have an F-14 on me, and while this turns all right, the F-14 definitely outturns me, and he got me there. So I will go ahead and jump into the next battle. So here we are, and we're gonna go after an F-4S here, as you can see. And we have some teammates right by, a couple of J-35s. So I lock him up here with the missile, but I just end up not firing. He gets a little too close, and the missile wouldn't be able to pull him by that top point. So we do fire this 5, and he does flare it. So we're going to pull around, and I thought about firing another one off, but I just thought that he was too far away. And PL-5Cs are, PL-5s are decently fast missiles, but that one probably just wouldn't have been able to hit. And I'm going to head over here towards this F5 and the F4. And I believe I'll end up firing at that F4 right there. And he does flare it. So now I'm down to 2 PL-5s. And he'll end up turning there. And I am going to go after him. Though he's a bit slower than me, so I do pull ahead. But I use that just to get away from him, turn around a bit faster than he can. And I launch on that F5, and it ends up connecting. The front aspect range of these missiles isn't that amazing. For some reason I was thinking it was better than it is now. I'll go ahead and fire on that A6E. But he flares it, of course. These missiles are incredibly easy to flare. Unfortunately, they used to be a little bit harder to flare, but now it seems like you can just drop a single flare and they'll go right for it. But these, the PL-5Bs, the PL-5Cs, like I had already said, are just PL-5Bs, but with an all-aspect seeker. So it's not bad, but they seem to be a bit worse than they used to be. And then the A6E that I hit, I don't even think I crit it, I just hit it. It went down. And that F4 did hurt me a bit, though it just damaged or broke my wing spars, I guess, and damaged my fuselage. Unfortunately, while this F4 won't kill me, I just crit him right there. That crit that he did on me, this damage will ultimately lead to me dying. Um, I do... So I will end up starting to run back to the base here. Except if you notice, there's an F5 around me. And he is not going to let me go easily. So he does hit me a few times here. He took off. And had he not taken off my elevator there, I might honestly like knowing like what I did here and how close I got to pulling up and aiming at him. I probably would have been able to win had I had just a little bit more authority in that axis. Because of course, I definitely have a lot more drag here due to my damaged aircraft. Cause like he's gaining on me way more, like way faster than he should be. I should be accelerating a bit better here if I was clean and not damaged. Unfortunately, I'm not. And the other problem here is that I didn't notice at the time is I'm starting to get a little low on fuel. Now you'll see that I have 11 minutes, and that seems like a lot, but it's ticking down, and you see how fast it's ticking down. But what I won't notice until it starts to get to about 3 minutes is that I'm really low on fuel, and because I'm doing full burner the whole time. I take 45 minutes, which is the second highest load. Though that'll go down because I don't have this quite speeded yet. And you'll see I do quite well for an F5 while I'm heavily damaged and missing an elevator. Like, if you pay attention here, there's a few shots, like, probably not here, but there's other points in which I get pretty close to nose on, and I just can't hit it. Now, of course, it would be a completely different game had I actually not been damaged whatsoever. But even if I had just had that other elevator, I would have done way better. And of course, he nicks me here again. Not too bad of damage. And I'm trying to turn around here. I'm putting, changing my flap settings. Like right here, I get real close. Probably just also due to me not having enough power. But also not having enough, also only having one elevator doesn't really help either. So we're gonna keep pulling around on him and trying to, get him. I do quite well. I do end up extending here soon. Right now, I'm going to head towards the airfield, and that friendly tornado is about to take off. I do check on the map here in a second just to see if he's actually coming towards me, because he was sitting on the airfield for a while. Maybe he was like pretty damaged, he had to wait to repair. I don't know. And yeah, I'm gonna start heading towards there. And he's a couple kilometers behind me, but I'm about to run out of fuel. And I do try and land, but I'll end up J'ing out just right after I touch down, just because he's gonna come and strafe me anyways. So, and he does end up getting that kill since he was the last one to touch me. Though, I don't know about that. I feel like if anything, the F4 should have. I mean, the F5, like, just based on what the F5 did to me, he really didn't do anything other than take off my elevator. Which, I don't know. Yeah, I'm about to touch down. I'm just like, alright, I'm just going to J out. And he ends up getting the kill. And yeah. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.